Oh, hey, YouTube. Hey. So, I'm in a new apartment, so sorry it's been a while since I've posted some videos. I know you're all excited. Is probably not as much as I am though. So, it's gonna be my first post in a while. I was doing a little sound check here, but I think we're just gonna go with it. So, one of my favorite things to do, as you know, is to watch the General. So, right, I'm posting to YouTube. These folks don't seem to have figured out YouTube yet. So just keep that in mind. There's content like videos, doesn't have to be YouTube. There's other content out there. I got this video queued up. I started watching just a little bit just to make sure I had it tested, but I don't want to rob you of the fantastic intro of the show. So I'm trying to queue it up here. Is it even recording? Yeah, I'm recording. All right, and now I'm having technical difficulties. There's probably a lot of people hitting the site right now. I think this episode just dropped. Or maybe I just didn't hit play. I don't know. Todd Eddie. Lovely.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the General's Kitchen. This is our third episode
you guys can
of
hear
our
this
third
okay.
year, and I'm Todd Eddy.
I love how he says that right
there. Mr. Buckley. Hello. Other culinary
Right, look at the pants.
We have two of our seniors from our program today.
You see what I'm saying? He's like, this dude can't even remember his name, but he's here to teach us about cooking. And the girl's biting her lip. This guy's like, man, I don't know what is going on here with this spinny thing. But I wanted to pause right there because this is a special episode. I'm cooking as we speak, so I don't know what they're cooking, but I thought it might be fun if I cooked something different, and I could try to tell you what I'm doing. And I'm already almost in. In fact, my timer went off. I'm afraid I'm burning my food right now. But here, let's get a shot. And I don't have my camera set up, so I'm using the camera on my laptop. But, okay, check this out while we're waiting for the General to go. I think I'm going to just cue it back up. And I'm going to make a few shots while you're watching his video. You can try to get an idea of what's going on in my oven. So hopefully you can see. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to burn my hair. But you can probably tell what that is. Looks like the episode's almost downloaded.
We have a Jai and Katie, and they've researched some recipes, and they're gonna cook up some delicious stuff today. We're gonna start with a Jai's soup. What are you making for us, Jai?
I'm making chicken and gnocchi soup.
Chicken and gnocchi soup. Okay.
That's my pan.
So how do we get going with that?
So we're gonna start with the vegetables first. We're just gonna chop them up.
Knife skills are something we really focus on at PHS. We start right in 9th grade, getting the kids familiar with those big knives, getting them used to working in the kitchen. That's what a chef does, works with the big knives. So, Jai, how did you, I don't want to talk to you with that big knife in your hand, so, but how did you come up with this recipe?
Somebody had made.
All right, so I didn't really need a knife, but I want to try to go along with the episode. I had recently been to IKEA, and I got these knives on special, so maybe I'll use those to cut up my mushrooms. Try to use the same technique.
Made it for me before, and it was pretty good. And I've never tried making it until we practiced recently. So.
That's what we like. Jai's kind of the soup master over at the restaurant, which we call the Longfellow Room at PHS. He tests our soup every day, whether he needs to or not, just to make sure they taste good.
Up to his standards.
Yeah.
You know?
So we diced a little bit of onion, a little bit of carrot, some celery. What's that called, the Jai?
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix, right.
50% onion, 25% carrot, 25% celery is your basic mirepoix for any stocks or soups.
Now, he just mentioned a minute ago that we're on episode 3, season 3, and I'll be honest, it took me that many seasons to realize that the name of the show is The General's plural. Both the guys in purple apparently are the generals. I know that's kind of an obvious thing, but when I'm trying to search for the show sometimes, I'm trying to figure out how to watch it. I always was looking for General apostrophe S. But with the generals, there's two of them. You put the apostrophe at the end. So keep that in mind if you're ever looking for the show.
Aromatic vegetables that go in the soup.
And Ajay's big sis.
That's another thing that annoys me about this is I don't know
ago.
if you're watching, but I'm trying to get it to go to full screen. And all these years I've been watching the show, I've never been able to get it out of this tiny window. Makes it a little hard to learn how to cook when you can't see the screen, which is maybe why I'm cooking a different meal.
And
He's really
not as good
enjoying
as
that.
me, but
she's not as good.
All right, so
Heard
okay, I'm
that.
gonna turn on
You
my
might
stove
have- you
here.
might have
We're
a
on
I'm gonna
TV.
basically
different version
saute
of that
some.
one, but
I guess so.
they're both good.
So we got some onion.
I'm gonna saute. It's like so. I just want to make sure we got one thing going at a time. I don't want to distract from their show while I'm doing my own show on top of their show. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna heat up my my olive oil here. I'm gonna throw some mushrooms in that and get that going. My pork chop says like 20 minutes. It's a shake and bake. I know that they probably frown upon that at the General's Kitchen, but shake and bake. You know, I haven't used that in a while, but it's pretty good. It says 20 minutes. Mine's a little bit thicker, so it's probably been in there like a half an hour. Probably gonna take that out in a second here. Let's get back to their show.
Onion we're gonna put in here. I'm gonna just start putting a little bit of oil in here.
I'm not gonna need those anymore.
We can go ahead and start the onion a little bit ahead of time while you're doing that.
You want me to add them now?
Just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in our pan just to get it hot.
What do you make?
Got olive oil in my pan.
Getting soup ready.
Strawberry shortcake parfait.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna start with some onion. All right. Making that nice sound. That's the chef's favorite sound right there.
A little.
Have a little
Mine's-
salt and pepper in there.
See, mine's making no sound. I am apparently not a chef.
Let's stir it around. Carrots right in here. And do up some celery. And this is really just releasing all our aromatic vegetables. Hey, releasing their aromatics and flavor. If we just put these vegetables in the pan and dump water on them, it's not going to be the best soup it can be. Hey, we're going to lose a lot of this nice flavor that I'm smelling now. Because if we were on the, what do you call that, Mr. Buckley?
Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision.
You got it at home right now.
You
You
can
go up
smell
to the
this
screen,
stuff.
you scratch where that
Yeah.
pot is, and you can smell those carrots, onions, and celery cooking.
So,
That's the witty banter between the two. If you guys have been a long time watcher from me, you know they'll really tee it up for the other one. Sometimes they pick up and sometimes they don't. Yeah, it's kind of odd. They're cooking something with lots of onions. I'm cooking mushrooms. The smell probably not the same.
Gotta have
all right,
smell-o-vision.
Jai, throw those right in there.
You smell that, Katie?
Yeah.
So, what are your, Jai is a senior at PHS. What are your plans for after graduation in a few short months?
I applied to a few schools already. I'm just trying to get all the college stuff out of the way. I'm probably going to go to a culinary school. I have Johnson & Wales and the CIA in mind. And then there's some in New York City that I'm researching. So
Nice. Yeah, that New York City one's a new one, right?
The student
yeah,
becomes the
Institute of
master.
Culinary Education.
Yeah, that sounds very nice. Doing that, chopping some garlic. I'm going to put a little more salt, pepper in here. Okay. These vegetables are really now starting to soften, starting to loosen up. We got a shot here on camera too. You can see all these nice veggies. It's cooking down, releasing those aromatics. That's what's going to really give our soup that deep, richer flavor than again if we just dumped water on top of raw vegetables. Okay. I'll bump some garlic. Garlic goes right in. Let that garlic do its thing in there.
I'm going to go get the chicken.
All right.
Well, I get that going. We're gonna make a roux for a soup.
Yeah, and then our soup needs to be thickened with a roux.
Yeah, so Katie, want to
So
start making
Katie
the
and
roux?
Mr. Buckley are going to go ahead and start that.
Yeah. What do you got there, Katie? Butter?
Butter.
Put it right in there. What does roux consist of, Kate?
Fat and flour.
Equal parts of fat and flour. Yep. So we're gonna melt this down here on the stove. It don't take long with these nice induction burners. Gonna wait for the butter to melt a little bit. Just gonna flip this. We're gonna add the flour once the butter gets all melted, and we're gonna cook it. We're not gonna cook it long, but we're gonna cook it till we smell a nutty aromatic flavor that we know we have activated the flour. Help it thick. If you don't cook your roux when you put it in your soup, you're gonna have the taste of the flour for one thing, and chances are you'll have some lumps that you won't be able to get rid of. But there's nothing worse than the taste of raw flour in your soup.
And soup is something we make fresh every day at the restaurant. You know, and soup is a great learning skill. It really teaches kids how to balance flavors, what flavors go together, how to adjust seasoning, and it's a great way to understand how flavors go together. And the kids really enjoy making soup. And
What spices go together and what spices don't. They learn that too.
we sell a lot of soup every day at our restaurant.
Let's add that flour in there, Katie. You want to stir that up for me? Stir that up. Get right in there. Down a little bit now that you got the butter melted.
So, Jai, where'd you come up with like your love of cooking?
My mom, we cook all the time together, and when I was a kid, I used to just watch her cook all the time, and
Yeah.
so yeah, that's why
What's
I
your
love cooking
favorite
so
thing your
much.
mom makes?
Let's see. She makes really great homemade pasta sauce.
Nice.
So that's my favorite.
Nice. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit worried about my cooking. I don't want to burn it. So I want to go to a little commercial break. And I think this is no coincidence. So check this out, right? So I was looking at this guy and his colors and the Buckley guy. And I said, you know what? Where have I seen that before? And so I do this internet search, and sure enough, look what I come up with. Check this out.
Hey,
I mean,
you
look
want affordable
familiar,
auto insurance from
big
a company
giant
that
dude
provides great
in a big
customer
bright
service?
blue
Check
outfit.
out the General.
And guess what? It's
At
the General's
monthly payments are
insurance.
low, and you can get immediate online proof of insurance.
Get your anonymous online quote with low payments and ride with the General.
Perfect. Now let's do the free throws.
Shag wasn't liking that. I don't know if they planned that.
Save some time.
All right, so that was a nice little. They have more commercials. Let's do one more with Shaq. You know what? Sponsored by Shaq.
Hey, you want affordable?
All right, somebody's having fun.
Check out the General.
Hey.
Get your anonymous
I can't compete with you.
Ride with the General. Ride.
Perfect. Now let's do the free throws. Go to the General and save some time.
Favorite.
You smell any nuts in there yet, Katie? Nope.
So I think I ended up overcooking my pork chop. I think the box said.
So Jai's just doing a little small dice on his chicken here.
I think I might have overcooked my pork chop. Okay, we're still recording. I'll probably have to edit some of this out. Now, I'm just going to call this episode a wrap. You can see I got my food done. I might watch some of this offline, just see how it comes out. Honestly, I'd rather hear more about his mom's pasta recipe or pasta sauce. Sounds a little like up my alley. But I hope you guys like this episode. Like I said, sorry it's been so long. Hope you guys subscribe below. Keep watching The General with me.